Dillian the Body Snatcher White here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so 6 days ago here on YouTube in the community section, I asked you all the question, what fight are you looking forward to the most? Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua Part 2 or Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, or both, you can't split them, or none, they're both garbage fights. Now, we'll get into the results in a second. Now, firstly, I understand not everybody gets to see the polls here on YouTube. I don't know the reason why that is. I have no idea whatsoever. Maybe something to do with the bell notifications. I don't know, okay? But either way, over 8,500 of you took to the vote, so I do appreciate everybody who did actually get to see it and took to the vote. The winner, Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, with 51% of the votes. 30% of you said Usyk versus Joshua Part 2. 15% of you said both, can't split them, and 5% said none. They're both garbage fights. I'm not really going to address the 5%. I think a lot of it's down to either A, trolling, B, people just having a laugh, or C, you don't like any of the fighters. Maybe you're a Wilder fan, whatever it may be. But most boxing fans will want to see one or both of these fights. Okay, so for me, I want to see both of them. Most of you want to see both of them. But if you had to choose which one, most people are heading towards Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Now, going by the comment section of this poll, and of course the past couple of weeks, ever since Joshua lost to Usyk, ever since Fury defeated Wilder in the third fight, of course, a lot of people have been talking about these two particular fights. So we can kind of put them together and see why it's not really a shock as to why Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte won this particular vote. Now, them winning this vote is not indicative of Tyson Fury or Dillian Whyte are more box office than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is Mr. Box Office. He's Mr. Pay-Per-View as a solo entity, more than Tyson Fury, more than Dillian Whyte. But you put Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte together, could they outdo Anthony Joshua? Maybe. Now, this is the third biggest fight that the heavyweight division could possibly offer. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Obviously, the biggest one will be Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, followed by Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, the rematch. Then it will be Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Then it's probably going to be Anthony Joshua versus a Deontay Wilder, or a Dillian Whyte versus a Deontay Wilder. Okay. Either way, Fury, Whyte, Joshua, Usyk are both mega fights, and it's something that we can look forward to in the first quarter of the new year of 2022. Now, going by, as I said before, a lot of the comments, not just on this poll but previous videos now as well, it is a case of, well, Dillian Whyte is finally going to get his world title shot. Not just any world title, but the WBC. This is the one where he's been screwed over. He's been left out in the mist. Just totally messed around. But finally now, he's going to get his WBC World Heavyweight title shot. And the cherry on top is that it's against a fellow Brit. An all-British clash. The biggest heavyweight world title fight since Lennox Lewis versus Frank Bruno. Is it bigger than that fight? Well, the numbers will decide that when they come through after the fight. Of course, hopefully this fight goes ahead. Now, for those of you who've been saying over the past couple of weeks, ain't nobody want to see Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, clearly you're wrong. You do not speak for everybody. You speak for yourself, but you probably will watch it too. And I do think that a lot of people who've been saying that people aren't interested in Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte are those who are maybe preparing excuses in case Tyson Fury says, you know what, I'm not going to fight Dillian Whyte, I'm just going to vacate the belt, or I'm just going to go off and retire. They're just preparing excuses. Because people do want to see this fight. They do. And Dillian Whyte is a serious banana skin for Tyson Fury. Again, those of you who say that Tyson Fury, this is easy work for Tyson Fury, he's going to mow through him, he's going to school him, take him to school, he's going to knock him out, easy work, blah, blah, blah. Firstly, you might be right. But secondly, what you're really doing is downgrading a potential victory for Tyson Fury, are you not? Because at the minute, people will say, well, Fury, he's only fought and defeated two people, Klitschko and Wilder. For me, I would include Derek Chisora. And if he was to defeat Dillian Whyte, I would be including Dillian Whyte as part of his elite resume of wins. So really what you're doing is you're downgrading a potential win for Tyson Fury. Now, when it comes to the build-up as well, the build-up between Fury and Dillian Whyte is arguably going to be more entertaining than Usyk Joshua. Usyk and Joshua are both very respectful people. They will respect each other. They'll shake hands. They'll say niceties about each other, all that kind of good stuff. Fury and Dillian Whyte probably won't. They may compliment once in a while, but ultimately, as much as they probably do support each other whenever they do fight, together, they're going to be berating each other at the press conferences, on social media, so it's going to be a much better build-up. That's for sure. The fight itself is probably going to be more fan-friendly as well, especially if Tyson Fury continues his new Kronk style under the guardianship of Sugar Hill Stewart, of course, the nephew of the late, great Manny Stewart. Let's not forget as well, Dillian Whyte has Harold Knight, the Shadow, in his corner as well. Harold Knight, for those of you who don't know, was the right-hand man for Manny Stewart. So this is pretty much Kronk versus Kronk, which is going to equal an all-out war, is it not? Usyk Joshua, most people will look at the first fight and say, well, maybe the rematch will go the same way. It's just going to be a pure boxing fight. Personally, I don't think so. I think Anthony Joshua is going to dog him. I think Anthony Joshua is going to absolutely dog Oleksandr Usyk. I think Anthony Joshua will catch Oleksandr Usyk and knock him out. That's how I think that Anthony Joshua will win this second fight. I honestly feel Anthony Joshua is going to win that fight. But if he doesn't, maybe Oleksandr Usyk is just a better fighter. Maybe Oleksandr Usyk is just that good. And there's no reason in the world why he's not. But personally, I think Anthony Joshua is going to win that fight. I'm going to be rooting for him. I'm going to be supporting him. And, of course, hoping that he gets the win to become a 3-time heavyweight world champion. Then the winner of these two fights can then go fight each other for undisputed, as there's currently no roadblocks. Currently. Between now and then, you know, the boxing world and its politics, who knows. But I understand why Fury versus Dillian Whyte won this poll. It's an all-British World Heavyweight title clash, WBC and Ring Magazine. Lineal, for anybody who put stock into that one. I know most of you don't, but it's still a mega fight. It's a mega fight. It's one that would it outdo Usyk Joshua Part 2 at the box office? I don't know is the answer. I really don't know. But again, I think UK wise, yes, I think that the UK viewership would do better for Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury than it would Usyk versus Joshua Part 2. I do think Fury and Whyte will do better in the UK. Worldwide, I would imagine probably Usyk and Joshua. But, hey, who knows? Again, that's just me guessing. Either way, I'm looking forward to both of these fights. Now, who's going to win between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte? Well, the bookies are obviously going to have Tyson Fury as the favourite, and rightfully so. So they should. But Dillian Whyte, he has fought and defeated more top 10 contenders than Tyson Fury has. Dillian Whyte has been more active over the past few years than Tyson Fury. But at the same time, does that mean that Dillian Whyte beats Tyson Fury? No, of course not. Of course not. But at the same time, for me personally, I want Dillian Whyte to win this fight. I do. And it's going to be a little bit bizarre because it will in truth be the first time that I don't want Tyson Fury to win his fight. All previous fights of Tyson Fury, and I've been watching him since his professional debut with Rob McCracken in his corner, I've wanted Tyson Fury to win. I've been supporting him. This will be the first time I don't want Tyson Fury to win. Obvious reasons. Obviously, I speak with Dillian Whyte. I don't speak with Tyson Fury. His team are okay for me to speak to him, but obviously they want to charge me, not just a little bit of money, but stupid money. And that ain't going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. So, of course, I'm going to be leaning towards Dillian Whyte. That's what I want to happen. That doesn't mean that is what's going to happen. Of course not. But either way, I'm looking forward to this fight. Most of you are looking forward to this fight as well. This is not indicative, as I said before, that either Fury or Whyte are more box office than Anthony Joshua, that Joshua's stock is plummeting, Tyson Fury's stock is rising. That's not how it is. It's just the fact that it's Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. That's the fight that we want to see more than any other. But when it comes to Usyk Joshua, of course, we're all going to watch that one too, and most of us will probably be rooting for Anthony Joshua. Personally, I'd like to see an undisputed fight between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Will that happen? Who knows? The bookies will probably have it, Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for undisputed. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. This is heavyweight division boxing. You never know what's going to happen. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.